Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning back in.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on episode 4. It's again
Thursday night. Thursday. Cheers.
Once again, yum. We have some news for you guys, right? We will be sticking to Thursdays. We will be launching our videos every Thursday instead of Fridays. We want to make Fridays more interactive, so we're calling it
Social Friday. Therefore, Fridays we're going to be having conversations with you guys. If you have any questions, feedback, concerns, anything, a story you would like for us to share, that correlates to this episode or any future episodes, definitely interact with us on Fridays.
Today we're gonna get into a cool topic, more interesting and
everyday.
We're gonna get into us. We're gonna get into the working moms, the entrepreneur moms, and we want to just talk about our day-to-day lives, and we just want to see where the conversation goes from there. We have a couple questions to ask one another, and yeah, so let's begin. You want to start with your questions?
You go first.
Okay. So my first question to Jessica is, as we all know, her son is 4 years old. He just started pre-K. So how long has it been since you first started working? Since you had Alexis? How soon did you start working, and how long has it been?
Okay, so those are 2 questions.
I mean, it's okay, fine, whatever. It's 2.
So I started working when my son was like 1.5. The regular 6 weeks, not 1.5, 1 month and a half. You know, the regular 6 weeks.
That's a huge difference.
That mothers are given for maternity leave, which is something that a lot of mothers are starting to advocate now. You know, maternity leave rights. I don't want to leave my baby so soon, and it was definitely an impact on me leaving my baby so soon because I wanted to be with him, and breastfeeding was hard because you have to pump at work, you can't pump in the house, and sometimes when you don't have like that physical attraction, it's hard for the milk to come out for you to, produce. So I started working right away, and then after that I was on and off work. And with the whole pandemic, I haven't worked, so it's been like maybe 2 years since I've had like a full-time moving job, which I'm blessed. I know the pandemic impacted a lot of us. We all suffered in some way.
Absolutely.
But the pandemic was a great time for me to spend time with my son, hang out, do activities. Yes, so it was definitely great. So now I'm working again after 2 years.
Sweet to you, boo. Congrats on your new job.
Cheers to you, yes. And my question to you is, you're a mompreneur.
Oh, yeah.
You're a mompreneur. And with all these duties that you have to do, because you have to be a banker, marketer, advertiser.
Yeah.
There's so many little roles. But before you go that,
okay.
My question is, what is the most challenging but yet rewarding task that you have to do as a mompreneur? Entrepreneur. Did you get that question?
Yeah, like which task I
think is the hardest, biggest challenge, but then the most rewarding.
Exactly.
After you get it done.
But do you mean in my work field aspect or my mother like which one? While I'm working on my business or while I'm at home being a mom and working on my business?
Yeah, like both.
Okay.
When you're at home with your child, working on your business, or when you're by yourself, like a task that you have as an entrepreneur, but you're a mom, that you have to do that is just like hard, and then you're like, oh my god, when you finish, it's great?
I would say taking my own pictures. I am my own photographer for all my collections. I probably have only one collection that I collaborated with a photographer, but that's the hardest job because I have to take the pictures itself. I have to edit and then have to like post. So that consumes a lot of time that I don't have. So it's very challenging.
Okay.
You know, I'm always on my computer, and then my son wants to come, or my phone, and it's just like, you know, it's very troublesome. And then when it comes down to it, when I see all those pictures, I'm like, wow, I did that. I fucking did that. Like right fucking now. I'm actually in the middle of editing all my photos for my next collection dropping October 21st. So check
Tune
it
in,
out.
GAC Shades.
Yeah, she wants to it. GAC Shades, baby. So Instagram, our website, follow us. My next question to you would be, do you think mothers get bashed for going to work too quickly?
Yes.
Why?
Excuse me. Because you're supposed to be the nurturer. You're supposed to be the one that's there taking care of the baby, loving it, breastfeeding, X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And when you start working, a lot of times people think, oh, well, you know, she's too ambitious. She's just thinking about her job, her career. She doesn't want to take care of the baby. She doesn't love the baby, you know.
I agree with you 100%.
You know, those.
But I feel like, what's too soon? Because even a year in, 6 months in, 3 months in, a month and a half in, it's all too soon, you know? But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? On another level, it's just like, what if the mother doesn't go back to work? What's gonna happen? What income is she gonna have?
Is that too
for
long?
herself? Right. So it's like, why do we even consider it like a bashing? Like, why do we even judge it?
When it's supposed to be more of like a free option, which it definitely is a free option, because whether you want to start working or you don't, you know, sometimes there's people that start working and they don't want to start working, but they have to because of financial limitations and financial responsibilities. Whereas there's other women that are so into their career and want to advance and have so many goals that they just feel like the only option is to start working, because although they had a child, and having a child is amazing and great, you have to have, as a person and individual, your own goals and things that you want to do that are going to help you, of course, raise your child, but make you feel accomplished and successful as a person.
That's a fact. That's 100% on that. Not only because I'm a woman, but I am a working mom, and I didn't start right away with my business after I had my son, because I started it before I had my son, and I didn't run into it. I took my time, you know, to drop my next collection, and I took the time that I needed, you know, that I felt was necessary, you know, and then I jumped on it whenever I was ready, whether it was 3 months in, 6 months in, I can't even remember, but I didn't really feel pressured. Not because of financial stability, but like you said, for me, inner me, I was doing what I felt was right for me at the moment and what I felt happy with. So going back to work wasn't an option, and right now is definitely not an option. I'm working for my damn self because I want to be at home with my kid. Definitely. So that's just me, you know. So what's your question?
My next question is, well, what you said really made me think about, you know, myself and how I started working.
I'm just looking down like.
I'm thinking about myself, you know, and how I started working. And it was for both reasons, you know, financial reasons, because I wanted to work, have more money in my pocket, be able to invest in X, Y, and Z. But also because I wanted to be, like, out doing stuff, you know.
Have you time
moving around, no, like being at work. I wanted to be at the routine of, like, you know what, I'm gonna be at work today, I'm gonna get ready, put on my nice outfit, my blazer,
period,
and, you know, just start walking towards that description that I said in the last episode of where I'm going to be on that podium. So anyway, my question to you is, because I've known you for so long, and I remember when you started your business, and I know like the journey of your business.
You make me blush.
So did being a mom and like being a stay-at-home mom make you like dive into being an entrepreneur more than before? Because before you were working on your business.
Absolutely. I feel like now I have more of a reason to go harder. Like I said, I am not ready to go back to work and leave my child in a daycare, which that is completely fine, but I just have like those trust issues. So I feel like right now I am going harder. My business is definitely taking a different route from where it started. We're definitely expanding very quickly because I'm trying to make this a source of income where I can produce money while being at home with my child. Mm-hmm. So right now I just feel like I have to make sure I am focused on that and have money coming in as much as I'm putting out. The same energy that I'm putting out to my business, I want it to reciprocate towards me and money. And I'm working really hard right now while I'm at home with my son, and I feel like my son is definitely one of the main reasons as to why GAC Shades is where it's at now, because we need that stream of income, baby. And I love what I do. Absolutely, I love what I do. It's my passion. Fashion is my passion. Accessories are my passion, and it's a way that I express myself. And it's my business, so I love what I do again, and it's definitely who I am and more for my son. So there you go. I got a little spiritual for y'all. Corazón. My third question for you would be, do you think men freely have the opportunity to go back to work fast and do what they want?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of men don't even take maternity leave. Like, I'm surprised your husband, your man, took
wanted to take 6 months.
Maternity leave and was in the house, because I don't really think a lot of men do that. I definitely remember, like, from my experience, I got home from the hospital, and was it that day or the next day? My son's dad went to work. I was by myself. Fucking taking care of the baby by myself. Yeah. Which was great, but a lot of women have to do that, and it's definitely a great bonding moment with the baby, but it's also very hard because you're so tired and they tell you to sleep when the baby sleeps, but you just want to be fucking staring at the baby thinking that it's going to die any moment for some reason that it just like does not make sense. But when the baby's little, you're just like
what's going on?
And sometimes they look like they're not breathing, so you're like oh my god, that was hilarious that time. Now thinking about it, it's funny when you have to deal with that. But men usually, don't take maternity leave, and the ones that do, I applaud you.
I'm talking about that.
You're the best.
I don't think a lot of fathers know that they have that right, just as much as mothers have the right to take maternity leave. I think it's like 30-something days. I don't know. Or more than that. I think it's more than that. But yeah, men also have the opportunity, and your workforce you're entitled to this. Is your right as an employer, as an employee of an employer, of a big company. They have to, depending on how large the corporation you work for is, they give you that, the time span. Wow, the tongue twisters right now is crazy.
But not that many.
Yeah, I'm talking about fast. But anyways, yeah, I feel like a lot of dads don't know that, and it sucks because you can take as much time as you need off, especially if you take some holiday days too.
It definitely paid time off. I was thinking about that when you were saying that. Like, you could definitely put the maternity leave, add any paid time off that you have. Sick days, whatever, and it will accumulate for time. So definitely, guys, men, if you have the opportunity,
take it off.
Take it off. spend time with the baby, get that skin to skin.
Skin to skin. Facts.
Definitely, because you do need that, and this is something that I feel like creates like a small disconnect between the dad and the baby, and that's why some men do not register so quickly, like, oh, I have a baby, you know, and the baby's tiny. There's a lot of men that are scared to carry their babies, you know, yeah, or like change their diapers, you know, they're like so timid. There are, so I feel like that men usually, it's a lot of statistics say that it takes men usually 6 months to get it mentally registered, like I have a baby, you know. So
yeah, I know. So since we are talking about working moms, I just want to allow Jessica to give a little insight on her perspective on it, and just like tell us a little bit more of your day-to-day life as a working mom. How is it like for you?
So it's always hard, but once you create a routine for yourself as to like, you know, this is the time that I'm going to wake up. I usually wake up like 3 hours or 2 hours before I actually have to leave
the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'll like, all right. So if I have to leave my house, usually I gotta leave my house by 8. So my alarm will be ringing from like since 5.
Oh no.
5:20, and then you know, like I hear the alarm ringing, whatever. So by like 5:45, I'm awake. I'm up. I'm like, whatever. I have to get out of bed, make my coffee. That's you know now, like make my coffee, do this, do that. I take a shower. I get myself ready. I make breakfast. I wake my son up. I get him ready, brush your teeth, this and that, get breakfast.
Such a mom life.
Yeah,
wow.
And I'm gonna say definitely now that he's older, it's easier to just be able to do all these stuff, because I remember before when he was a baby, when I was with his dad and while I wasn't with his dad and I was working, it was way harder. And he was a baby, you know, like I didn't have to make breakfast or anything.
Take him to daycare?
Yeah, but I had to take him to daycare, so it was like I would be so way more tired than now. And I remember I would be like a fucking zombie. Wake up, you know, get the baby ready, like take a shower, get the baby ready, get myself ready. Yeah, like rushing, because I wouldn't wake up with like all the time that I'm saying now that I wake up for, and I have time to fucking make coffee, this and that. Like before, when he was smaller, it was not like that. I would just be waking up, oh my god, rushing, let me get ready quick, let me get the baby ready quick. Yes, like the bottle, blanket, this, that. It was like a mental checklist. Do I have everything? Okay, stroller, there you go, babies, you know. And winter time, whatever, like anytime, it was super hard just having to take him to the daycare, drop him off, like okay, the baby's good, all right, bye, get on the train, you know, commute, get to work and stuff. So it was definitely harder, but now I've created a routine and it's easier. And with the time that I had off because of the pandemic, it definitely like allowed me to
get accustomed to that.
Yeah, and understand more, like, okay, I need to create time for myself. So I need to, you know what, if I gotta wake up early, I need to go to sleep earlier. I'll be on some grandma shit. Like, she texts me at 11. I don't even be awake.
That's not true. I'll be knocked by 10 too.
Yeah, but sometimes, I feel like recently, now that I've started working again, it's been maybe like 2 weeks, that I'm like actually going outside and working and having to go to the office and do everything. I've been going to sleep like at 9.
Absolutely, girl. You got to get that rest with me.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds hard, and that's something that I didn't have to go through the daycare thing, and I'm so happy.
Talking about the daycare thing, I wanted to ask you a question. Huh?
Sounds tragic.
The daycare?
I'm not ready.
Talking about the daycare thing, I understand, you know, that Because when I asked you the question about
What?
what's the hardest task as a like mom entrepreneur, you started talking about you haven't taken him to daycare, so you're not really at work. But I feel like, don't you consider like your business work?
Fuck yeah.
So why don't you just kind of like have you created a schedule for yourself, like a work schedule
Yeah, I have.
for yourself, and why don't you think like, okay, during this time, let me get somebody to watch my kid,
Okay, I see what you're saying, but it's
so that
just
you're like it's like work.
yeah. But what I kind of have been doing is we kind of be up at like 8 in the morning, start up making breakfast, and once he eats, goes watches his TV, and that's when I start my day, check emails, orders, etc. If I'm gonna drop a new collection, I'm getting the stuff ready. But then around like 12, whatever, we do nap time. Or like from 12 to 2 is nap time. So that's time that is like crunch time for me. I have to attack my hardest tasks at that time, whether it's for my business, whether it's personal, whether it's cooking. I have to get all of that into that crunch time. So, at that time he's napping, and then he gets up around 3 or 4, and then again he gets to eat, I bathe him again, and my man comes home. So, it's not that bad, but if I didn't have to do my business, my side gig, it would be a lot harder because I would not be doing anything. So my days would probably go by very slow because a lot of the time he's either playing by himself or napping majority of the day. So it's like, but like half the time he's being recklessly just playing everywhere. But nonetheless, it's not that bad. But I feel like I see what you're saying, that I should get some time for myself, for my business, to do like get him somebody to take care of him. But
Because you have 2 hours, you do 2 hours for your business. That you crunch your business. Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I crunch my business.
I feel like you're explaining your schedule and you're making it seem like, oh my god, this is going by so quick.
Yes, it does. I be like, I wake up and it's already 4 o'clock, and I'm like, what the hell? Where did my day go? I feel like I did so much, but not enough. That tomorrow I have even a longer list. But it's like, oh my god, it's crazy. And then sometimes I clean my whole room, and it's like 9 in the morning, and I look at the time, and it's already 2, 3 p.m. I'm like, oh my god, where's lunch? The baby hasn't napped. Or we go to the park, and I do the same thing, and I'm like, oh my god. But that's on random days,
That like throws your schedule off a little
Yes,
bit.
but I kind of have like this set schedule, and half the time, my fiance always helps me pick up, so the room's never, our space is never, a mess or whatever, that I had to consume so much time of my days to clean. But it's just, I don't think I have enough hours in the day to do what I gotta do. Nonetheless, to go take my kid to stay somewhere else, and then I have to pick him up, that's already taking time out of the time that I need. So, I'm good. Que bien conmigo.
I get it. I
see.
I have one other question that just came to my mind. Do you think that you have like an let me think about wording it, because I was gonna ask you, do you think you have an attachment problem to your your child?
Oh yeah, I do.
But like
no, I definitely do.
When the babies are little, we definitely feel like so like, oh my god, I don't want to leave you. Like, I feel so bad I have to leave you. I used to feel so guilty having to go to work whenever my baby was little. Even now, like, I have to go to work. Like, your dad has to pick you up after school.
Yeah, but it's hard. But
so yeah, do you think I have like this attachment?
I do.
Dilemma.
I have separation anxiety for my son sometimes, but half the time it's always, I'm not trying to sound like messed up. It's a relief sometimes when I get away from him, because it's kind of some time that I get for myself, and for me a little breather, because he is a lot right now. He has a lot of energy, and he moves very quickly around me. So at the time I'm like 10 steps behind him, and But I definitely do. Like, when we went to Florida, I just kept saying, I miss my son.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah, I want to go back already. I'm like,
yeah, and I just was like,
yeah, but
wow.
I feel like that too.
But it's
after like 1 or 2 days,
kid, Like, I'm with him day to night, and if I'm not with him, I'm either doing something for myself, doing a little shopping, or hanging with the girls. I definitely have. My mom, and my whole family tells me this. This is why he needs to be in a daycare, because you're obsessed, you're this. But it's not obsession. It's just, that's my son. I want to be the one to care for him. I want to be the one to give him what he needs, the attention he deserves. Because I feel like my son deserves a lot of attention. And I'm going to be the one to give it to him because he deserves that. He deserves that love. You feel me?
Great. So, that's an amazing perspective, because I was going to ask you, like, so why do you feel like timid about taking him to a daycare? But that answers the question, because you feel like he deserves that love.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
And he deserves, and definitely, yeah, because when they're in the daycare, they don't, not one child doesn't get all the attention on them. So, like, would you consider getting a nanny?
Oh, yeah.
Then, like, a daycare?
Yeah, and it's not only about, like, somebody else just watching my kid, because my mother has watched my kid, my aunt, my cousins. You have even stayed with him for, like, 20 minutes or whatever, but
20 minutes, yeah, but not a long period of time. Not like, yeah, like, not for like two or 3 hours.
I just feel like a daycare is a lot right now, especially since I had him, the whole pandemic. I had my son 2019, and then rapidly COVID came, so I was like, oh no, and then there's other kid virus going around, and it's just, kids are, like, there's a lot of germs in daycares. And I'm kind of like a germ-proof, so I just be thinking about that, and I just kind of like, I'm not with this shit. Like,
So you would consider a nanny?
Yeah,
otherwise?
I consider a nanny.
Somebody.
We gotta get an interview. Like, since you saying right there, we're not even having coffee. We'll talk dry mouth and all that. Like, background checks are like, todo. Okay. But yeah, that was just a little insight of our day-to-day mom lives as a mom entrepreneur, and I want to give you a pat on the back, and we want to congratulate all the parents out there working, taking care of their kids, bringing the food, the money, the love to the table. And
tune in tomorrow, Friday night, Social Friday.